recording is about the difference between ions and isotopes. So remember that in an atom we have our three subatomic particles: electrons, protons, neutrons. Electrons have a -1 charge and a relative mass of 0. Protons have a +1 charge and a relative mass of 1 AMU. Neutrons are neutral, no charge, and they have a relative mass of 1 AMU. So when we're looking at the charge of an atom, we're comparing the amount of electrons you have to protons. When you're looking at the mass of an atom, you are looking at the total of protons plus neutrons. So we have this ape man. Atomic number is equal to protons always. The number of protons will be equal to electrons if we're talking about a neutral atom. Man, mass number minus atomic number equals number of neutrons, because if you add the protons and the neutrons, you get your mass. An ion is a charged particle. That's because it lost or gained electrons. Remember, electrons are negatively charged. So if an ion loses electrons, it becomes more positive. If an ion gains electrons, it becomes more negative. Metals like to lose electrons, like sodium, becomes +1. And nonmetals like to gain electrons, like chlorine, -1. An isotope is atoms of the same element that have different mass numbers. That's because they have a different amount of neutrons. Alright? So if you vary the number of neutrons, the mass number varies. We're still talking about the same atom, so they all have the same number of protons. Carbon. We have different isotopes of carbon. Carbon-12, carbon-14. Their mass numbers are what is different. Carbon still has 6 protons for each isotope. So if you have a chart here, you can figure out the rest of this information from what's given to you. We have atomic number 13. If you look at your periodic table, that is aluminum. Then we always know atomic number is equal to number of protons. Number of protons is 13. We are going to look at the number of protons versus electrons to tell if it's an isotope or ion. Protons are all positive, electrons negative. We have a +13 charge here and a -10 charge here. Since these numbers are different, this is definitely an ion. And the leftover charge, so +13 minus 10 equals +3. So this charge of aluminum is +3. To figure out your neutrons, remember, ape man, it's the mass number minus the atomic number, so that's 13. So whenever you have an ion, you must write the symbol plus the charge next to it. That tells me you have an ion. Let's look at the next one. The number of protons and electrons are equal, so we do not have an ion, we must have an isotope. An isotope, the format, you must write it so that you have the symbol, the mass number on top, and the atomic number on the bottom. Number of protons and atomic number always equal, so our atomic number is 35. That tells us that the element we're working with is bromine. The mass number, ape man, well, mass minus atomic number gives you neutrons, but if you have atomic number and neutrons, you just add them together to get your mass number, 80. To finish this off, we must make sure that we write our isotope correctly, with the mass number on top and the atomic number on the bottom. This is how you write an isotope. That's it.